one fresh elimination.
Oh, the kids' table.
Keep it up, Wild.
There's a lot here. It's going to really derail us. The Vikings are newly eliminated. Also, dirty pool by some either I think it's Charger bloggers that are aggregating my take from March about, hey, is there a potential J.J. McCarthy, Justin Herbert trade available? Cropping out the date and pretending I did it this week. That's wrong, guys. Maybe it was a bad take in March, but it'd be a horrible take this week. Bottom of the tiers. Regressing to the mean. The Steelers and the Panthers. Both nice hot starts, neither of whom, certainly the Panthers, but maybe the Steelers as well, had realistic aspirations to be a legitimate contender, but they had the records of one, as of a few weeks ago. Panthers coming back to the pack, the Steelers dropping like a rock. Cheetahs, a.k.a. scary, not dangerous. Bengals and Cowboys. Cheetahs never killed a person.
Is that true?
That's true. But they're scary. They're not dangerous, though.
Fascinating.
Exactly
never
right.
killed a person?
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd have thought
Next
it.
time I see a cheetah.
And so they seem like they should be dangerous, but they're not. They're just scary.
Yeah.
That's the Bengals with Burrow back and the Cowboys with Lamb and Pickens. They're scary. You don't want to play them. And listen, it's not like I think either one of these teams is going to go winless the rest of the way. And either of them on any given week can beat a team. The Cowboys could beat the Chiefs this weekend. The Bengals could beat the Ravens this weekend. But they're not dangerous teams because they are not able to string together long enough stretches of quality football on both sides of the ball. Wow. Quite the quarterback trio here. Herbert, Bake Show, and the Prince. All three of their teams right now appear to be in similar caliber for very different reasons. The Chargers are 7-4, but seems like everyone expects, well, they're not going to keep that up, which is weird because Herbert's healthy and they have Harbaugh, but everybody understands that Justin Herbert, who's one of the most talented quarterbacks the league's ever seen, evidently can't play without Joe Alt. And after playing with fire with those close comebacks that you were talking about, Brew, the injuries seem to finally caught up to him. Schedule got a little tougher. They've lost 3 straight. No, Brew, they're still.
Admit it.
What? They're a cute team?
Yes.
They're a banged
right
up
on the
team.
money with that.
And the Jags are 7-4, have a couple games left, I believe, 2 games left against the Titans, are like 80% to make the playoffs. Nobody takes them seriously. Nobody. Even though they beat the Chiefs, nobody takes them seriously. But the pedigree, the Ravens, they're not that good. We have played 11 games this year. You can't point to one where you're like, I thought they played awesome on offense and defense.
Yeah.
Not one. Now, the pedigree says Lamar's an all-time great quarterback. The Ravens uniform with the big scary Edgar Allan Poe signage they're gonna be great. The argument for them right now really is the pedigree, more so than what we've seen on the field. Surging versus slumping. I'd be worried if I'm the Colts.
Yes.
You have 2 left against the Texans, 2 left against the Jags, a Seahawks game and a Niners game. You could be on a 3-game losing streak already. It took overtime in Berlin against the Falcons and some very questionable game management by Raheem Morris to escape that game. You blew the game against Kansas City. The Texans, on the other hand, are just mauling people. They went on a 3-game winning streak without their starting quarterback, and the Texans got to feel every week like, get us to 17. Mm-hmm. If you get us to 17, we can win. Maybe the deficit's too much, but the Texans get the Colts twice, including this weekend. Be honest. Who do you trust? So this is the question I'm asking. If I were to tell you the Packers or the Bears are trailing by 3 with 2 minutes left in a game, which of those teams do you trust based on what they've done in clutch spots, close games this season? If I were to tell you one of these quarterbacks was playing a team they were a big favorite against, and had a 3-interception disaster. What's your guess? Right now, this moment, Caleb or Jordan Love? I know it's not what we thought going into the year, but as we head into Week 13, is the more trustworthy team the Chicago Bears? So, to me, certainly on offense. The defense has some issues, and the Packers defense, of course, who do they have, Coach? Who do they? Micah Parsons. And by the way, you haven't dropped any Micah sack stats on us now that he's back in the top 5. Next.
I would have trusted a team that was leading by 3.
Underachieving, overachieving. I think these two teams are about similar in overall quality, which for the Lions is a massive underachievement, and for the Niners is a massive overachievement. Given their injuries, given what the expectations were going into this year, the Lions we've been banging on the door, this is the year we break through. The Niners went into the year, Kyle Shanahan's like, pump the brakes, everybody. Like, this could be a retool year. Then he lost half his team to injury again, and the Niners are so injured, otherwise smart people are like, I think we need to look into this power plant that's by our practice facility, and if it's messing with our guys. That's how injured they are year over year. Yet, they're 8-4, and if they were to, this weekend, be playing the Lions, I'd say that's a coin flip game. Only trust the quarterback, only don't trust the quarterback. Why can the Bills win? Josh Allen. Why are the Broncos not the best team in football? Bo Nix. Like, the Bills don't have a lot of right now. James Cook's excellent, obviously. It's a little overstatement. Super redeeming qualities, except for they've got a guy at quarterback, even if he's not having his best season, that you feel like can throw the Superman cape on. The Broncos check every box of a legitimate Super Bowl contender, except people are like, Bo Nix, really? And so, but I think right now, if they played in a playoff game, you'd feel like you have to pick the Broncos. They're better at everything. And then you'd be like, I'm picking Bo Nix over Josh Allen. Feels weird. KW, what is this not?
Well, it's not the standings, which means the number 1 Patriots are probably on here. But with the standings, we'd be there.
It's not the standings. So who do you think the number 1 Patriots are next to? It's not the standings.
I don't hate
This is a compliment.
To you.
To you. To the Patriots. Everybody knows I'm a Drake May guy. I'm beloved in New England. Everybody knows that. However, I do think that the 10-2 Patriots and the 6-5 Chiefs at this very moment are actually similar caliber teams. And for different reasons and with different strengths and weaknesses, but on a neutral field right now, this moment, I think that game's very, very close. And so I know the records are very different. One team is better than 50% to make get the 1 seed, and the other team's barely better than 50% to make the playoffs. But this also could be a first-round playoff matchup, 2-7. If you guys don't get the 1 seed, it's what it is. Coach,
I just love it. He's like, it could be a close game between the two of them. It was a close game between the Colts, who are apparently not a good team at all, according to Nick. So, also, it was a close game between the Jags, who Nick does not think is a great team. So, you know.
I liked this last week, so I brought it back. Last week, the Eagles were Chekhov's gun. This week, Chekhov's gun fired.
Oh.
We saw it last week. All the simmering issues about the offense popped up over those last 3 quarters in Dallas. And Marshall really got in his bag with these last 3. See if you guys can get the trend. So Chekhov's gun fired into check his heart rate, his being Sam Darnold. Listen, man, the Seahawks are awesome. They lost week 1, but we've decided on this show week 1 games don't count. Brew, we've decided week 1 games don't count. They barely lost to the Rams, who everybody thinks is the best team in football, despite throwing 4 picks. And the other game was a 3-point loss to Bake Show. They are good at everything, but you just worry in a big game. Is Sam Darnold going to walk over to Sam Darnold and be like, do you need to be checked out, buddy? Are you okay? Chekhov's gun fired. Check his heart rate to checking all the boxes. I don't know what there's not to like about the Rams. They have a great coach. They have a great quarterback. They have a great defense. They have great skill position players. They are healthy. They can beat you a bunch of different ways. That coach is the Week 13.
Week 13 tiers. Yeah. It is funny that the top 3 teams are all NFC teams, and everyone always kept peddling that nonsense of like the AFC is so much better than the NFC, and it's like, really? That's not the case. Yeah, man. I mean, the Patriots obviously deserve to be above the Chiefs. I'm not even necessarily putting the Bills. Once upon a time, how I saw the Bills playing and how I saw the Chiefs playing, I was like, okay, I can see why we're going to put the Chiefs ahead of the Bills. No, at this point, they should just be on the same level right now, the Bills and the Chiefs, where you're just like, and the title should be not what I remembered them to be, right? It's like, this is the Bills, this is the Chiefs, but it just feels different right now, and I don't know why, but something doesn't seem to make sense, and you'd have to elevate the Broncos. Just because you don't believe in Bo Nix doesn't mean everyone doesn't believe in Bo Nix. So, go enjoy that. Listen, I've been very, very, very impressed with the 49ers. I really have. But I'm not putting them on the level of the Detroit Lions because I still feel that Lions, especially offense, has the ability to just go off in a way that I do not feel that the 49ers do. The 49ers can have their moments, no doubt. But I just mean, Christian McCaffrey's been awesome. He has absolutely been awesome. No doubt about it. And I do trust Kyle Shanahan way more than I trust whoever you want to say is calling the plays for the Detroit Lions. You pick and choose whoever you want to pick. I trust Kyle Shanahan more. But I really do just love, who they got. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Gibbs, Goff. Like, I just feel that is more complete and really still has the ability to just rock the world offensively in a way that I don't have the same level of confidence in the 49ers. And so, that's that. So I do think the Lions are a little bit more deserving to kind of have that notch up. They're closer than you would want. And so I do appreciate the underachieving, overachieving title. I think the title is accurate for both of them necessarily, but I just don't know if I'd put them on like that identical tier personally. I also don't think that the Colts should be dropped right now. I mean, there's lots of teams that are squeaking on by with wins. We've seen it consistently throughout the NFL. And so you can't just use that as a barometer as to why the Colts should drop, as well as they lost the Chiefs, who are amazing and the best and brilliant and awesome and the best team in the AFC and yada, yada, yada. And yet it took an overtime win. So if you're going to knock the Colts for squeaking on by, you would have to knock the Chiefs for squeaking on by because the Colts are not that good of a team in the view of Nick. So it's like, how do we make sense of that? I think the Bears offense has been run better, whether it's because of the pieces, whether it's because of the coaching, doesn't matter. I just like the way how that offense has been, how it's presented. So I won't say run, but it's what I've seen out of it. I am still taking Jordan Love over Caleb Williams in this moment of time. I do love Caleb's mobility and what he can bring to that table. So if you are down by 3 or whatever in that moment, that does add a degree of confidence. But I do think though that Jordan Love, especially with some of the injuries he's been dealing with, lack of run support for various stages, I am picking Jordan Love over Caleb in that moment. I mean, just look how stark of a difference the completion percentage is. 67.7% compared to 59.2%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Bears are leaving so much offense on the table here. So much offense on the table. It's not even particularly close. And even when we factor in drops, adjusted completion percentage, 79.9%, nearly 10% difference here. Which is a pretty massive swing, and they're both getting pressured in equal amount, 139 to 140. 102 passer rating to 91.3 passer rating. It's certainly not the end all be all, but I do think the Bears have been operating a more successful offense. But I'm not putting that on the shoulders of the quarterback. So when you kind of say, who would you rather have, Jordan Love or Caleb Williams? It's like, at this point, it's just, I don't know if that's necessarily the conversation to be had. The Texans are a fascinating team right now. I don't know how to make sense of them. I really don't. That defense is legit. That defense is just a bunch of monsters, right? Like literally Space Jam monsters, or whatever the heck the new Space Jam called them. Don't even remember. But it's just, I'm fascinated to see what happens when they bring CJ Stroud back and what that offense does, and they're going to start to be like, we were better with Davis Mills. Like I wonder what the story is. The Ravens, I'm not knocking the Ravens. Things don't seem right now with them. I'm still kind of optimistic that it's a health issue, especially with Lamar. We'll see what happens against the Bengals. That'll be pretty telling. I don't know if they're deserving to be so far at the bottom, like they deserve to be so far below the Bears when they literally beat the Bears without Lamar Jackson. So make that make sense. I'm just not prepared to just have, if you're willing to put the Bears and the Packers right there, then you should be willing to put the Ravens there as well. I completely stand by that for sure. And the constant making fun of Justin Herbert here is just so ridiculous. It really is. It's so obnoxious at this point. And I'm going to turn that into a separate video because it's just so ridiculous. Like, first off, the reason why Nick is abandoning the Bucks and took out the bylaws or whatever, because he said they were going to make the Super Bowl. And he's like, oh, well, injuries. What are you going to do? Injuries. And now Justin Herbert is able to keep this team afloat, win some games, and you keep making fun of him for having O-line issues and no run game and receivers that want to keep dropping the ball, and you just want to act like it's nothing. Or that they're like, well, you can't maintain this. Well, Justin Herbert's healthy, shouldn't he? And it's like, was Patrick Mahomes able to? He was healthy. I want to know, why didn't you win? Why didn't you win at the beginning of the season? Why do you have 50% odds to make it to the playoffs? Why is it that you said, oh, well, if he has a good O-line and good receivers, then he's a great quarterback, but you don't want to offer that to Justin Herbert? It makes no sense. And it's just obnoxious at this point. It really is. And listen, man, if the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, whew, do you look bad putting the Cowboys that low? I'll just leave it at that. I will leave it at that. And if the Chiefs beat the Cowboys, make sure you don't drop banners and celebrate it like it was this big time win, because they are beating a team that's right on the verge of elimination. A team that was a Joe Flacco-led Cincinnati Bengals team. So let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. And the Steelers and the Bengals, I don't know. Is Aaron Rodgers back? Is Aaron Rodgers playing? That team will be a lot better if Aaron Rodgers is back and he can get back out there. The Panthers, I've said this in every single take that I've ever had to say about the Panthers this season. I don't believe in them, so I don't even know who they are. I don't know how they even got their wins. I mean, it's just, I especially after watching Bryce Young against the 49ers, I'm like, how did you ever win a game? How is it that the week before you threw for like 500 yards? Like, what is even happening? This is where football is just crazy. Just crazy. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Nick's tiers headed into week 13? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.